Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another Madden rebuild here on Madden 26. Today, it's finally time to tackle a traditional classic rebuild that we do every single year on the channel, every single Madden cycle, and I have yet to do it for Madden 26, so I thought, you know what? It's a good time to do this rebuild. So here we are. It is the fantasy draft rebuild, where we start a random save, load up a fantasy draft, draft the rosters, reset the NFL completely, and then rebuild whatever team we get. Usually it goes pretty well. Hopefully this time is no different. If you're going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe channel, join the Juice Club. Let me know down below in the comments what teams you want to see me rebuild in the future, because I will take them on and I will rebuild them in a future video. If you're going to enjoy, please let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the game. Let's do a fantasy draft. Here we are. I have chosen the Detroit Lions as the team. I randomly chose the Lions because the Lions really aren't going to be in need of a rebuild, like a traditional, you start with a team, you rebuild it like we normally do with bad teams. They're not really a bad team anymore. So they're not going to need a traditional rebuild. So I thought, you know what? The Lions are kind of a perfect team to do a fantasy draft with, because we're not going to be using the Lions on a traditional rebuild. So if we want to get the Lions on a video, might as well have them as the team we do for the fantasy draft. So that's why I chose the Lions, or Dan Campbell. Let's start the fantasy draft, and hopefully we don't get like a middle of the road pick. Obviously, you either want to have like a top 3 pick, or you want to have like an end of the line pick, because I think it's serpentine, is it not? No, it's not serpentine. It's static the whole time. So you obviously want to have a top. I'm thinking of fantasy football. You obviously want to have a top pick because you get that pick the entire time. So what's our pick going to be? I'm hoping it's good. I didn't see what it said down there. Pick 13. Wait, no, not pick 13. What? Pick 7. It's all quarterbacks off the board. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert. Sucks that Daniels got taken. But why does it say round 1, pick 13 when it says pick 7? I'm very confused. I don't know. But a lot of quarterbacks just went off the board. If we're gonna get a quarterback, it's gonna have to be right now, if there's one available. But all the receivers are available. I mean, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, we can go absolutely crazy with that. If we're gonna get a quarterback, it's either gonna have to be Jalen Hurts, or, I mean, we saw how CJ Stroud developed in the Texans rebuild we just recently did. All of the top young quarterbacks got taken, like Jaden Daniels and stuff like that. So we could go Jalen Hurts, or maybe we wait until like a little bit later and grab a young quarterback, like Bryce Young or Justin Fields, Michael Penix, Cam Ward, guys like that we know are going to develop. I don't know what the move is here. Because it still says we have pick 13. I don't understand why it's messed up like that. I mean, we have the pick of every running back we could ever want, because only quarterbacks. Every person in the NFL is on the table except for the quarterbacks, the 6 other quarterbacks that we saw. Do we go with one of the top receivers in the league, or do we go Dexter Lawrence? I can't take Dexter Lawrence this early, can I? I mean, I could probably take Micah Parsons this early. That wouldn't be the worst idea. Because we're thinking of a rebuild, so obviously multiple different years. So we're not looking at Chris Jones. We're not looking really at Myles Garrett, even though he doesn't develop, or he doesn't regress that heavily. Cameron Hayward's off the table, unfortunately. But a guy like Micah Parsons at 7 is not the worst idea in the world. I'm either looking at him, Saquon, or one of these 2 receivers. I don't really know which one it's going to be, though. Do we take Jamar and Justin Jefferson? The good thing about receiver is there's a ton of receivers. Like a ton of receivers. We can come away with a couple of really, really good ones. We don't have to take the best of the receiving core. But at edge rusher, I mean, there's some good edge rushers in the league, including Myles Garrett. There's some good edge rushers in the league, but there's not like a top. It falls off a cliff after these two. Not a cliff. It falls off a hill after this one. I think I gotta take Micah Parsons here because we can get a running back. Saquon's amazing, but running back doesn't necessarily matter that much in the grand scheme of a rebuild. You can get away with a decent, with a, like an 80, mid 80s running back. I think Micah Parsons is going to be my pick. I know that sounds crazy looking at the people on this board. This is why I didn't really want a middle of the road pick, and 7 kind of is the start of that middle of the road. I kind of wanted to be at the beginning because then I can decide, oh yeah, I'm going to take a quarterback. It's going to be Jaden Daniels, probably is who I would have taken, or Josh Allen. But I think I'm going to grab Micah Parsons here. I mean, he's 26 years old. He's only going to get better. I mean, he can only get one overall better, but I think I'm going to draft Micah Parsons here. I know that sounds a little crazy considering who else was on that board, but I had to take him. Round number 2, what's on this table for us? What is on this table? Saquon is still available, so it's a good thing I didn't grab him because I would have overreached. All right, so Jahmyr Gibbs is on the table as well. That might actually be a better option. Stafford's still available. Goff, Jordan Love. Jordan Love might not be a bad one. The young quarterbacks are still available. I can't take Saquon, I don't think. But a Penei Sewell might not be bad. Getting a franchise right tackle might be a good idea. I think I'm going to take Penei Sewell. Taking a right tackle in round 2 seems a little crazy as well, but I mean, getting our right tackle position figured out the entire time is pretty good. And then I see Jahmyr Gibbs here, and I just talked about not getting a top of the line running back. I might go Gibbs, but then Bijan's down the board as well. There's so many good running backs. And then I saw, obviously, you could get Ashton Genty down the board too. He's going to develop like crazy. I think we build the offensive line here. I know that might be a little insane considering it's offensive line and there's always good offensive linemen in the draft. We either build offensive line or we build defense. And I'm thinking we go offensive line. But offensive line might stay around a little bit longer. What do we do? Is there a number 1 corner? All the number 1 corners have kind of gotten taken already. Quinyon Mitchell might not be a bad one to take. Travis Hunter is still here. We know that he develops pretty well. I think I'm going to take J.C. Horn, 25 years old. I think I'm going to take J.C. Horn 3rd round. I'm talking crazy right now. All of my picks have been kind of insane with who I'm taking. Jahmyr Gibbs did get grabbed. How's the cornerback room looking now? Travis Hunter got taken. Okay. See, linebacker is where we probably should have grabbed somebody a little earlier. Linebackers where we should have grabbed somebody a little bit earlier. What's quarterback look like? Rodgers, Fields, Penix, Cam Ward still available. So either we get a rookie quarterback or we draft somebody in year 1 of the rebuild. I'm pretty sure we could develop one of these guys. Pretty sure we could develop a Michael Penix or a Cam Ward fairly simply. Anthony Richardson, I've seen Anthony Richardson develop like crazy in rebuilds. I think I'm going to grab my quarterback right now in round 4. And I think I'm going to take one of these two, either Michael Penix, extended Penix, or Cam Ward. And I think it's going to be Penix. Should it be Penix? Should it be Penix? You know what? Screw it. It's going to be Michael Penix. I haven't done a rebuild with Michael Penix as the quarterback, so you know what? We're going to try it out right here and see if it's any good. As far as the rest of the team goes, I have no idea what I'm looking for here. I'm guessing at running back, yeah. I was looking for Bijan. He got grabbed already. Ashton Genty's, I think, already gone. There's still... Oh, no, Ashton Genty's still here. I might want to grab Ashton Genty. You know what? I'm going to do it right now. I don't want to risk Genty getting taken because I've seen him go nuclear in rebuilds before, so got to get my guy out the gates. What's wide receiver look like? Wide receiver, Tank Dell, I've seen go crazy. We just saw him go crazy in the Texans rebuild. Rishi Rice is available. Okay, we're starting to get a little thin at receiver. Starting to get a little bit thin at receiver. I might have to grab my number one. I did see Tetairoa McMillan down there. So that might be one we come back to. All these guys are slightly older. They're not going to develop that much. I'm probably going to grab one of these two guys. Give me Rishi Rice. I see him win Offensive Player of the Year all the time. So give me Rishi Rice. Travis Kelce's available. Deion Dawkins. I am starting to run a low on top young talent. I might have to scout by age. That might be a smarter, or maybe not age, but maybe we go by. Maybe it is age. Just try to grab all the young guys because this is a rebuild after all. So we got to try to grab all the young players. I've seen Oladeji go crazy in rebuilds. James Pierce Jr. might not be a bad pickup. The only problem with going by age is I don't know when these guys are going to get taken. They might get taken early, or I'm reaching for guys. That's the only problem with doing it like this. I think I'm going to pick up Jahad Campbell. We're going to grab Jahad Campbell. I'm going to go full youth. Because I know that in a couple seasons, these guys will go absolutely insane. So we're going to go full youth. We're going to grab as many young people as we can. I'm going to grab Tetairoa McMillan as my number 2 wide receiver alongside Rishi Rice. I'm actually going to pick up Edgerrin Cooper because he's young as well. He's 23. So I'm just flying through this now. We're going to pick up so many young people. I'm going to pick up Kenneth Grant at D tackle. I was going to pick up Mason Graham, but he got grabbed. Who else is available? Keon Coleman, Jonathan Brooks, Amarian Hampton, Tyleek Williams. What are we looking at for linebackers and corners? Benjamin Morrison. I've seen him go crazy in rebuilds before, so Benjamin Morrison's going to get grabbed. Oh yeah, we're taking youth to the next level. We are going insane for youth. I'm going to take Walter Nolan. That's 2 D tackles grabbed off this board. Chase Brown at running back might not be a bad idea. I'm going to grab Malachi Starks. I'm just going through the youth, man. I'm taking rookies. I'm taking second-year guys. Dylan Sampson. We'll take Nick Amanawari. Oh, yeah, this team's going to be nuts in a couple of years. Absolutely nuts. We've got our safeties. We need to grab some extra corners. We could take Jacob Parrish. He's got good speed. I kind of want to take Denzel Burke just because he's a Buckeye and I like Denzel Burke. But I think I got to prioritize guys with better potential development. I don't think Burke develops that well. Let's go grab Jacob Parrish. That's another corner. That's 3 corners off the board. We probably should grab some more linebackers. This is where we get a little bit tricky. Cody Simon's done pretty well for me in different rebuilds. Where do we go? We don't need a... Oh, we do need a Sam linebacker. Okay. Who's going to take off in this rebuild? I don't know if there is one. This one might have to be a position that we draft. We've done good at D tackle. Dallas Turner is still available at edge rusher, but we have an edge rusher, don't we? Yeah, we have Micah Parsons, and then we have... I thought I took somebody else. But Mike Green's right here. I might just take Mike Green at left edge. That's pretty solid right there. And then what else do we have? Player age. We've already got our quarterback. We could grab Jackson Dart and just have a backup if we don't want to go with our guy, Michael Penix. Do we need a backup running back? We have Ashton Genty. That's it. I think I can wait on running back. At wide receiver, we've just got Tetairoa, and we've got our guy, Rishi Rice. Jack Besh. There's got to be a third receiver in here that I like that's going to develop. Third receivers aren't like super important, but they do sometimes get touches as like a slot guy. So, If I'm going to draft somebody down here, I can wait. So I don't know if I'm going to take a receiver just yet. I kind of want Travis Hunter, but that's okay. There's a couple of guys I could grab. Tight end, we don't have a tight end. Yeah, I just realized that. I mean, there's a couple of good ones. There's a lot of the rookies from this class available. Brock Bowers obviously gone by now. Depending on the playbook, we don't necessarily need a unbelievable elite tight end. I might just grab like Colson Loveland or something, or Mason Taylor, one of these guys, Harold Fannin. Let's just go Colson Loveland. That's an easy one to grab. It's a starting tight end for us. No big deal. What else are we looking at? Let's take a look at offensive line because we are a little thin there. We don't have a left tackle. Who's left tackle going to be? Maybe that's a draft pick. Once the rebuild starts, because I'm not seeing, by age, I'm not seeing anybody that's that good. At guard, okay. There's a couple of youngsters here, and we need a left guard. Give me Jonah. No, he's got normal dev. Okay, not Jonah. We could go Wyatt Milam has star dev, I think. And Kingsley's got normal. What about Dylan Fairchild? Dylan Fairchild has a dev trait. Well, give me Dylan Fairchild. Sure, why not? Give me Dylan Fairchild. What else are we working with here? Center. We didn't grab a center. No, we didn't. So who do we got? We got Jake Majors. I got to get a decent one. Tanner Bortolini. Only normal dev, though. I thought he had a dev trait. Jonah Monaheim does, but he's a super low overall. Luke Whippler. All the young centers are not that high overall, unfortunately. Another one where we might have to draft one. Jordan Meredith has normal dev. We could be in trouble on the offensive line. Could be in trouble. Probably should have grabbed some guys earlier. Zach Zinter has normal dev. I might just grab Evan Neal. Yeah, some of these guys I don't think is worth it. Probably not. Give me Evan Neal. Sure, why not? He's only 24. All right, what else do we want to do? Maybe Siobhan Revel? Yeah, give me another corner in Siobhan Revel. Where's the team at right now? So we've got Penix, we've got Genty, we've got 2 wide receivers, we've got a tight end, we've got no offensive line, but we might just draft that. Edge is looking good. We got 2 D tackles. We need a Sam linebacker. We might have to draft that too. We got 4 corners. We got a safety and a safety. We don't have a kicker or a punter. What kind of kickers are available? Oh, Cam Little's available? Oh, no, Brandon Aubrey is available. Sure, why not? Just give me Brandon Aubrey. That'll be kicker finished. Okay, so now we've just got to figure out what's left. We've got our quarterback. We could grab a secondary running back, but I don't think that's as important as getting maybe another wide receiver. Adonai Mitchell is available. I don't really know if he develops, though. Kyle Williams. There's some options here. There's definitely some options. I just don't know how some of these guys will develop. Kayshawn Booty. Give me Adonai Mitchell. He's got speed. He doesn't have a dev trait, but give me some speed at the receiver position. Jack Sawyer. Definitely give me Jack Sawyer. Little Buckeye action out there. What else are we working with? Josiah Stewart still available. I'll take Josiah Stewart. I know it's a bunch of edge I just took there, but definitely got to get those guys on the team. Possibly even for trade bait at the end of the day. Isaac Tesla is also available. And Ty Hamilton's available. Give me Ty Hamilton. Another Buckeye. And then, what are we looking at? Wide receiver. We've got 3 with Adonai. Give me Isaac Tesla action here. Sure, why not? He's a rookie. He's 23. He's got a dev trait. Okay, so I think the last thing we need to do before I jump out of this video or this portion is and let the CPU handle the rest is to draft a couple offensive linemen. Give me a little Jalen Milrow action as backup quarterback to Michael Penix. Maybe he'll turn into something. Who knows? I think the last thing to do is to get some offensive linemen just to fill out the team, and then we can move on. So overall grade, offensive tackle is not looking that great yet. We're definitely gonna have to focus on uh offensive line in the draft. I think that's gonna be one of our biggest points of contention along with linebacker. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on those positions. I'll take DeJuan Jones to start with. And then I think we needed, what was it else we needed? We needed a left, no, we didn't need a left guard. We needed a center, that's right. So who's the center going to be for at least the first season? It's not looking like there's anybody that good, is it? Center's kind of tragic if you think about it. Jonah Monaheim. We'll just take Jonah Monaheim because he's a rookie. But he's not looking good for the offensive line. Jadeveon Clowney's still available, but we're pretty good on edge rusher. I think we're pretty good on everything. If we take a look at this, we got a quarterback, we got a running back. We should probably grab a backup running back now that I think about it. Let's grab a backup running back here for Ashton Gent. Even though we don't necessarily need a backup running back, you can get away with just one. Give me... I mean, it doesn't really matter. Give me Ollie Gordon. Nice young running back. All right, so there's our backup. I think the last thing we have to focus on is linebacker, right? We got Campbell, Edgerrin Cooper. We just don't have a Sam linebacker just yet. Is there none available? There's no Sam linebackers left in the league. Wow. Why add that as a position if you're not going to make it available? If you're not going to have a bunch of people be the position. Give me Barrett Carter. He's young. He could possibly develop, maybe. And then I guess the last thing I want to do is just check and see if there's anybody I'm missing overall, like age-wise, that I could add to this team that I think could help us. And then I'll simulate. Cam Scatabo, probably not. Is there anybody here that I'm missing that I want to add to this team before I simulate? It doesn't look like it. All these guys are cool, but it's not looking like anybody that I absolutely have to have. So I think that's going to be it for the actual fantasy draft portion of this video. We're going to sim out. That's not what I want to do. We're going to sim out of the draft. I think we did pretty good. We killed it, and I got the trophy because that's the first time I've done a fantasy draft in Madden 26. But we killed it in terms of getting youth on this team. And I think that's what's going to help us in a couple of years. We might not be good in year one, but that wasn't the plan of the fantasy draft. It was to get all this youth. I mean, look at the youth we have. We have a rookie tight end. We have a rookie receiver, rookie running back. We've got a young core receiver, a young quarterback. On the defense, that's where we really hit the strides here because we got Micah Parsons, we've got Stewart, we've got Mike Green, Jack Sawyer, Amanda Worry, we've got Malachi Starks. The cornerbacks are all young. The defensive tackles are all young. I think we killed it. I really do. I think we killed it. Do we have a better scheme fit? We do. We have 84%. So I think we're going to run a scheme fit of that. And then we're going to run maybe, we have a couple 87s, a 4-6, a 3-4 under. Let's just run a 4-6 maybe. That might be a little bit better. That way, Lecky Fotu doesn't... Is it Lecky Fotu? Yeah, Lecky Fotu. He doesn't start at D-Tackle 3. All right. So we obviously have some holes to fill. We know that. We have to fill will linebacker or at least one of the linebacker spots. Unless I could just move Barrett Carter to will linebacker. I don't see why that wouldn't work, right? Let's move Barrett Carter to will linebacker, see if he's still a 68. What happens to him? So move him over to will linebacker. What happens to Big Barrett? He goes to a 69. Perfect. I can trade Troy Anderson and start Barrett Carter and see if he develops. I don't think Troy Anderson's going to bring us anything. Yeah, no trade pack. You know, I'll just cut him. I'll just cut him. I'm not going to get a 6th round pick for Troy Anderson. It's not going to matter that much. So let's just, if I can click the right guy, let's just cut Troy Anderson and then we'll move on. But I do think that this team's going to develop like crazy. We are in Lions offense and defense. So we cut Troy Anderson there. The offensive line's our big glaring need. I probably should have hit that a little bit earlier. That is on me. They also took Michael Gallup. Interesting. Well, I'm not gonna keep Michael Gallup. We're just gonna cut him right away because I'd rather have Isaac Tesla start. But we're hoping and praying that Michael Penix develops. We've got Ashton Genty. We don't have to worry about that. We got Jack Sawyer on the rush right end. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Slot receivers, Rashee Rice. That's why he wins Offensive Player of the Year all the time because he goes crazy in the slot receiving. I think I'm good with this team. I'm not going to make any moves. We're going to stay in the playbooks. I'm not going to trade anybody. I think we're going to ride it out and see if this team can do anything in year number one. I don't know if they will. Maybe the Lions playbook is just that good. But what we're really looking for is like year 3, year 4. That's really when this team is going to come together. So I'm going to simulate year number one. We'll see how the initial team does that I drafted. And then we'll make any moves in free agency or anything like that we have to do. But I like this team a lot. I'm very excited to see how they do. We're a 78 overall team out the gates. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I don't know. Let's find out. Year one is finished, and we went 3-14. Now, I told you at the beginning that this team wasn't going to be amazing in year number one, probably because we got so much young talent on this team that it was going to take time for develop. I didn't think we'd be 3-14 bad, but hey, that's good for development, I guess, because a lot of our young guys got a lot of play time. We're going to have probably the number one overall pick. I would assume so, which is also pretty good. I wonder if it's because of the offensive line. Was the offensive line really that bad? Or is it because Michael extended Penix isn't that good? Or is it the Lions playbook not that good? I don't know. There's a lot of different factors in here, but this is a horrible season for Michael Penix. 1,000 yards and only 3 touchdowns for Genty. Nobody over 1,000 yards. Kind of trash on offense. A lot of sacks given up by DeJuan Jones. 129 tackles from Edgerrin Cooper. The defense seemed to be amazing. I mean, Micah Parsons put up 17 and a half sacks. I don't know if it was a defensive problem. Or maybe it was a defensive problem because they were on the field so much because the offense sucked. That's also a possibility. But look at the league. I mean, Geno Smith puts up 4,700 yards in the Bengal offense. Will Levis puts up 4,300 yards and 36 touchdowns in the Buffalo offense. I mean, we're talking crazy right now. We're talking bums that are putting up great numbers because of the playbook. So maybe the Lions playbook isn't all that it's chalked up to be. I mean, I feel like I see the Lions in the Super Bowl fairly often in Madden Sim, and it's going to be the Commanders and the Browns. I think the Browns have Lamar Jackson. I don't remember who the Commanders drafted. Maybe Josh Allen. I don't remember who they drafted, but I know that that the Browns have Lamar, and the Commanders get the win. So your first Super Bowl is Commanders-Browns, and the Commanders get the win. All right, well, we're going to have to go into the first offseason here and figure out how to fix this team. It is Nick Bolton winning MVP of the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow on the Jets gets MVP. Ladd McConkey on the Falcons. TJ Watt on the Dolphins are the players of the year. Cam Ward, quarterback of the Rams, and Shamar Stewart on the Browns gets Rookies of the Year. Those are your first-year awards. Let's take a look at this team, because obviously we're going to have all the depth traits revealed. Let's take a look at what's going on. We knew that we needed to get offensive linemen, so we're going to have to focus heavily on offensive linemen in this draft, or go into free agency, see what's in there. Ted Aroa has superstar. I think that's not new. I think that he always has that. Penix, he's developed a little bit, but he's still only star. Barrett Carter's got up to a 71. The defensive line's good. The defense, I don't think, is the problem. We got studs everywhere. I think it's the offense being so bad that the defense had to be out there a while. I think that's the problem. We're going to have a ton of money because we're paying a bunch of rookie contracts. So let's get to players negotiating. We've got J.C. Horn. We've got Rashee Rice. Amanda Warrior. Oh. Is it because... Wait. No, it's not. I was going to say, is it because the fantasy draft messed up the rookie contracts? No. Josiah Stewart and Nick Amanda Warrior are just here. So I guess we'll have to pay them. But I do want to bring back J.C. Horn. There's a reason we drafted him because he's our number one corner. So we will extend him. Not extended Penix, but we will extend him. We have plenty of money to do so. So let's bring J.C. Horn back. He appreciates the offer, but he's going to test free agency. Wow. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to franchise tag him as long as nobody else rejects our offer. Let's get Rashee Rice back. I didn't realize I was going to have to give so much more money over value. but I guess I will. And Reishi Rice will return. Who's up next? It's going to be a Manowari. So we want to lock him up for a while because he is just a rookie. Well, he's a second-year guy now, I guess. But he is our starting strong safety at the end of the day. So we got to get him back, and hopefully he accepts this. He will return. And then I think it's just Josiah Stewart. I don't think I want anybody else back. But we will offer Josiah Stewart a new contract, an extension, and he will hopefully accept this. And he does. So it looks like it is just J.C. Horn who wanted to be a little mean boy and not accept. I will extend Cade Stover because he's a Buckeye and I like Cade Stover. So I will offer him a contract and I will overpay him slightly. He's going to return. Okay, so Cade Stover's back. And then we will franchise tag J.C. Horn, $20 million. It's a little bit of a hit to the pocketbooks, but if it brings J.C. Horn back, I guess we'll have to do it. And then we can move to free agency. I don't know what free agency is going to look like because this is the first year, like I said, you saw the trophy pop up. This is the first fantasy draft I've done. And in past Maddens, fantasy drafts have messed up the contracts. So I don't know what's going to happen here in free agency. DJ Reed. So there are guys that don't usually make it to free agency. Omarion Hampton. A lot of running backs, rookie running backs from this past year. Chop Robinson. It's a weird free agency class. But it doesn't look like there's anybody that's like super I have to have you type of guy. There's got to be somebody better than Jonah Monaheim. There are a couple of guys. I might just toss an offer at Josh Myers just in case we don't grab a center in the draft, which I think we will. Or at least that's the goal. So I will toss one at Jonah Monaheim. And is there anybody better than DeJuan Jones? I like Jackson. There are a couple of guys, but I feel like it's just better to draft a left tackle. There are a couple in the draft that could be pretty solid, so I think it might just be better to do that. This free agency class is not super good, and that might be affecting, or the fantasy draft might be affecting this. You don't know. It's hard to tell. It used to be like that, where the drafts got messed up because the free agency got messed up because the contracts got changed when you do a fantasy draft. But I think that's different now. Maybe it's the same. I have no idea, honestly. Let's just get to the first year draft. I probably will go a second season in the Lions playbooks just to see if they're the problem with this roster or if maybe it's just because we were such low overalls. I don't know. All right, so the two left tackles are not amazing. That's kind of annoying. I was hoping that they would be. There is a top 5 D tackle in this class. We're going to need left tackle. So one of these guys has to be a hit. One of these guys has to be a hit. What about Scott Pope? Maybe he's the hit. We're going to need a center as well. And it looks like there could be a pretty solid one. This Cam Hoffman dude might be legit. So we'll scout him. Maybe there's a right tackle that we could turn into a left tackle. It could be this Cesar Casas. Maybe he's good enough. Let's scout him as well. Those will be my final private workouts. I would assume we have the number 1 overall pick. I don't want to say that without actually knowing, but I would assume we have the number 1 overall pick. How good are those extra left tackles? So we found out that Carson Brown's 2-3, 1-2, and then 1-2 for Pope. Very interesting. And then what about the center? The center is a true round 1. And then the right tackle is a round 1-2. Okay. So they look okay. They don't look amazing. But they're probably good enough to start. And we do have the number 1 overall pick. Do we trade out of the number 1 overall pick? When's the first left tackle go off the board? Not for a while. Carson Brown, I'm not interested in him. Jerry Culver goes next at 14. Joshua Soto, who I didn't even scout. Duncan Ringer, I didn't scout. A lot of left tackles go in first round, but it's a lot of guys that I didn't look at. There's Cam Hoffman. I definitely want to grab Cam Hoffman. How do I grab Cam Hoffman and a left tackle in the first round? Because I think Cam Hoffman's going to be our starting center for the future. What I think we do is I think we trade out of the first overall pick because I don't need the D tackle. We drafted a bunch of rookies in the fantasy draft, so I don't need the tackle. Even though he is a top 5 player, I don't need him. So how do I get what I need? I don't want to drop too far because I want to get Cam Hoffman. But how do I get what I want? I could trade for both the Rams picks. Okay. And then I would also pick up their first round pick next year. Oh, that's perfect. That might be actually what I do. That seems to be really, really good. Yeah, we could pick up first round picks the next 2 years, but if I want to do what I want to do, which is grab the center and a left tackle, the Rams are giving me that opportunity by giving me 2 first round picks in this year's draft. I think I might do that. Now I don't remember what pick. I think it was the Steelers. I'm gonna trade down to 12. The Steelers at 27. That's where Hoffman was predicted to go. So we are good to go with that. Who are they gonna take? They're gonna take the D tackle. I kind of assumed that's who they were gonna take. Let's send to our pick at 12. Okay. So we have 12 and 20 now. We can take one of the offensive linemen, one of the left tackles. We can either take Pope or we can take Jerry Culver. The center is still available, and so is Cesar Casas. Do I grab Cesar Casas because I think he could be good, or do I just take the traditional left tackle? Scott Pope looks really good. A lot of A's at good position or good attributes. But what about Jerry Culver? He's not as good of an athlete. I think Scott Pope's the better player. I'm going to take Scott Pope at number 12. I think he's the better player. He's number 23 in true value. He's got hidden dev. He will start right away over DeJuan Jones. And then we will go to number 20. Culver got taken at 15 by the Chiefs. And the center is still available, so I'm going to grab him right away before the Steelers get him. Cam Hoffman, our starting center. Welcome aboard. Number 10 in true value. Hidden dev. We've basically fixed our offensive line. I know we still have Evan Neal at guard, at the other guard spot. We basically fixed our offensive line right there with those two spots. Those are our two biggest needs. We don't need a quarterback, at least not right now. Wide receiver, I mean, we could use an extra one, but I think we're kind of good. Hold on. 6'7", 229 out of The Ohio State University with only marginal speed. Hey, catching traffic. Is this a tight end? Do we just draft him because he's 6'7"? I don't know. Diego Ray is also available. He looks a little bit better. Oh, I'm a little bit conflicted now. What do I do here? Michael Cole, the ring announcer? He looks pretty good, too. We could maybe move him to offensive guard. He's 6'6", 332. We could fit him in there, I think. I kind of want to take Michael Cole. What is the name of those guys? So this is Diego Ray, and then this guy's name was Miguel Espacino. I think Miguel's going to get taken. I think he is going to get taken, but I can't pass up. I think Michael Cole might be pretty good. I'm going to grab Michael Cole. We're going to fix that offensive line right away. He's number 15 in true value. He also has hidden dev. We've drafted 3 offensive linemen that are going to be studs. Absolute, utter studs. But now we don't have another pick until the 4th round. The Lions don't have a 3rd round pick. Interesting. Well, before I decide to trade up, is either of the guys that I wanted still available? No. The 6'7" guy's gone. What about the tight end? Diego Ray is still available. So if I want to trade up for Diego Ray, I should probably do it. How do I get the 3rd round pick? It shouldn't be that difficult to get it from the Jaguars, right? If I trade for this pick. What do they want for it? They want Tedero McMillan. They want a bunch of stuff, or Edgerrin Cooper. All right, let's not get a little crazy out here. Let's not get crazy. What do you need? You need corner. You need corner. I have a few, but I don't really want to give you any of them. They need a tight end. I'm going to draft the tight end. Do you want Colby Parkinson for the 3rd overall pick or 3rd round pick? No, they don't. They don't want Colby Parkinson. Okay. We have a lot of D tackles, don't we? We have 3 plus Zach Harrison. Jack Sawyer and Josiah Stewart. We did just pay Josiah Stewart, but is he ever going to play? That's the big question. Because we have Green, we have Sawyer. Those 2 would play ahead of him, I would assume. And then we have Parsons and Michael Clemens. Do you want Michael Clemens? Not really. What about if I go all the way down the board and give you a 3rd round pick from 2028? Because that's one of the picks that we grabbed from the Rams trade, I think. Yeah, we have third round picks the next 2 years. Well, what about if I give you both of those? This is a lot for a third round pick. Let me simulate a little bit into the third round and see what happens. Safety goes. The Raiders, they take a running back. Jason Clemens, another safety goes. Jose Ruiz, that's a tight end, but it's not the tight end we were looking at. I think our guy's name is Ray or something like that. What about the Dolphins now? Dolphins might be a little bit more willing to trade with us. Maybe a little bit cheaper. What do we got? Benjamin Morrison. Okay, they're not that cheap. I didn't think third round picks were going to be that expensive. Looks like they are. What about if I give you the 2 third round picks I was offering the Jaguars? That's not going to do it. Do I just risk it and keep simming? Probably. There goes another tight end. Okay, we're starting to get a little scary on tight ends. I think our tight end's the next best player on the board for tight end, but he doesn't actually look that good anymore. Was this not the same guy? No, this is the same guy. Diego Ray. What was I looking at earlier? Is this not the... Wait, what? Why does he have different grades? Oh, because these are the grades that are showing up. Oh, I get it. I get it. So the grades that are showing up here are farther back in the... Okay, I was confused for a second. I was a little bit confused. I mean, I'm going all in for this tight end. He's not even going to start for me. It's not like it's the end of the world if I don't get him, which I didn't get him. Okay. I should have traded up with the Bucks, but they were asking for just... It seemed like a little bit too much. A little too expensive for a third round pick. And it's not the end of the world that we didn't get a tight end. What else do we even need? We might just go simulate. Because I don't think there's anything else that I really want. Unless I just grab another tight end. This is another Ohio State tight end, Nasir Underwood. Let's just grab him. I was going to take a tight end anyway. Might as well take one. He's number 263 in true value. He's trash. That's my sign to get out of here. All right, but we fixed the offensive line completely. We got our starting left tackle, we got our starting center, and we got a guard. Well, we got a tackle who we can probably move to guard and then be totally fine. So a 75 overall for Pope, 77 for Hoffman, and 76 for Michael Cole. Unbelievable first 3 picks of the draft. Trading out of number 1 was a huge move, and giving the Rams giving me 2 first-round picks in the same round or in the same draft was absolutely amazing. They also took a 73 overall guard in Michael Morris, the auto drafted, and then they took a running back. Okay, sick. Maybe we don't have to move that guard then, or that tackle, if we have a guard already. He is generational, at least it seems. Julian Falk, 84 overall. He goes number 1 overall. Then there was a guard at 29, Zach Thomas, he's an 82. That would have been pretty nice to have. But I like our draft. We killed the draft in the first round, in the top of the second round as well. We completely reworked this offensive line, which is exactly what you want to do in the draft. So we will generate best lineup, and we will look a lot better. Yes, this looks a lot better now. I mean, Dylan Fairchild's cool. We probably should just have Morris start right away, which is kind of crazy because he just got drafted auto, or the auto draft took him. And then we have Pope, who's a 76 at guard. They have Michael Cole starting at guard. Scott Pope was our first pick. He was number 12. If I move him to right guard, he might be a pretty nasty little guard instead of a tackle. So let's move him to right guard. And then our offense line's probably done. Generate best lineup. He pops in at right guard. Evan Neal moves over, but we'll just move... I guess I can't move him over. All right, Evan Neal, whatever. You can stay there. Doesn't matter. The offensive line's looking really good, though. Receiving room is fine. We got 4 receivers that I like. Defense, we didn't fix the Barrett Carter issue, but I hope that he fixes himself. And like I said, I am going to run Lions offense and line defense again just to see if the playbook is the problem, why we're not simulating very well, or if the team was the problem. Now that we're a little bit higher overall, we'll figure it out. Let's simulate the season, see what happens. Year number 2, I'll see you at the end. Year 2 is done, and we show drastic improvement from year 1 to year 2, from what, 3 wins to 8 wins in year number two? I mean, I still can't tell if it's the playbook problem or if it's the player problem, but at least we're winning more games. It's not good enough to make the playoffs, but I do think Lions offense needs to be changed to either Buffalo, Dallas, one of the OG playbooks that we know are good. Because Penix has got the skills to be able to run one of those playbooks. We just got to actually put him in it. Decent numbers for him. Genty finally takes off a little bit. Ollie Gordon with 11 touchdowns. He was a merchant at the goal line, apparently. Rashee Rice puts up 1,000 yards. Not many touchdowns through the air, though. Not many touchdowns in general. Edgerrin Cooper leads the team in tackles again. Micah Parsons puts up 25 tackles for loss. Oh my God. Along with 17 and a half sacks, clearly the leader. 6.5 for Grant, 5 for Nolan and Sawyer. Interception leaders Cooper, Horn, and Morrison all with 2. All right, good numbers. Obviously, Micah Parsons is carrying the defense. But we don't make the playoffs again in year number 2, which I didn't think we would, but I thought we'd do better, and we did do better. 8 wins is obviously more than 3. But I do think year number 3 needs to be a playbook change. Whether that's Buffalo, whether it's Dallas, I don't know. Whether it's what other ones simulate pretty well. Obviously, we know Cincinnati does well for individual stats. As the Vikings take home a Super Bowl against the Jets. Kind of a weird retro Super Bowl if you think about it. Not that those teams matched up in the Super Bowl, just a retro for the teams. They were good back in the day. Season recap, Josh Hines-Allen is your MVP of the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy on the Chiefs gets MVP of the league. That's something new. I haven't seen that very much. A Chiefs quarterback winning MVP. Mahomes takes it sometimes, but not every time. It's usually Josh Allen or Joe Burrow. Ladd McConkey and Nick Bosa are the players of the year, and then a couple of rookies. All right, so let's take a look at the season. What's the recap look like? We've got superstar dev for Hoffman, sick, super sick. Pope and Morris both have star, not shocked. Cole has star as well. But superstar dev for Hoffman's pretty nice. The receivers are starting to develop slightly. Colson Loveland's developing. On defense, Barrett Carter stays at normal dev. We might have to upgrade Barrett Carter in this year's draft. Kenneth Grant's going crazy, but Mike Green and Walter Nolan are taking a little bit of time to develop. But if Micah Parsons keeps going the way that he's going, I mean, we won't need to have those other guys develop because Micah Parsons is gonna do it for us. He's gonna win the thing for us. But we go into the year 2 offseason. We need to pay J.C. Horn because we franchise tagged him last year. We need to pay Penei Sewell. Ugh. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And he doesn't want to be in Michigan because of the income tax. Well, you're here in real life, Penei. So I don't know what your problem is with the income tax. You're gonna have to get over that. But we are gonna have to pay him severely over market value to bring him back because he does not want to be here. Lions aren't historic champions. We don't have a franchise quarterback. He does not want to be back, and he wants to test free agency. No, I paid him so much money. All right, well, we have to hope and pray that J.C. Horn accepts, or we're gonna lose one of them. Please. Please, JC, do not reject this contract. I am paying you so much money. I'm paying you more money than any cornerback would get, but I need you to return. Please. Thank God. Okay, we severely overpaid JC Horn. I understand that, but I had to get him back. Benjamin Morrison's asking for 57. You're asking for 57 total? You're not worth that. But I gotta pay it, and he's gonna return. Who else is even up here? Edgerrin Cooper. Well, we gotta pay Edgerrin Cooper. Malachi Starks. Oh my God, it's all the young guys. It's all the rookies. All right. Edgerrin Cooper's up next. We obviously have to pay Edgerrin Cooper. That's a no-brainer. I mean, he's been our leading tackle both years, and he's a stud. So we are gonna. I mean, it's a good thing we have all this cap room because we are overpaying like crazy for these guys. Because none of them want to be here because we have no player motivations that are friendly. And he's going to come back. Thank God. Edgerrin Cooper returns. Who's up next? Malachi Starks. All right, Malachi. Well, get ready to accept a God tier bag. And you don't have to worry about your grandkids ever having to worry about working a day in their lives because you are going to have generational wealth after this contract extension. So be happy about that. He's going to return. Thank you. Who's next? It's Mike Green. Now, the edge rushers aren't as big of a deal because we do have a few of them. We have Jack Sawyer, we have Josiah Stewart. So, Mike Green, I'd like to have back, but it's not the end of the world if he doesn't. I wish he would. He is going to do it. Okay, thank you. And yes, I do understand we are overpaying every single person that I've offered a contract to, but we have to because they're not going to accept otherwise. And we're going to be in a Penny Sewell situation or a JC Horn situation. How about that for Siobhan Revel? He accepts. So now we're down to Dylan Fairchild, which we don't actually need to bring back. I will bring back Ollie Gordon because he did get 11 touchdowns this year as the backup running back, so he might be worth some value. And he went up to an 80 overall. He was like a 71 when he drafted him in the fantasy draft. So we'll get Ollie Gordon back. Dylan Fairchild's an interesting one because we drafted his replacement. I will franchise tag Penny so I don't forget. It's only 18 million though. That could have been a lot worse. Do I offer? I'll get J.K. Scott back just because he's a punter. It doesn't matter. All right, J.K. Scott returns. Dylan Fairchild's the last guy that I would want back. Do I want him back, though? What's the guard position look like? We have Evan Neal, we have Pope, and we have Morris. So we don't necessarily need Fairchild. I feel like that's a waste of money. Or is it? Is it a waste of money? How much is it asking? He's not asking for that much. I bet I could get him on a cheap contract. I say cheap, but it's still going to be like $4.5 million. All right, he comes back. It's whatever. It's depth at the end of the day. That leaves us with $18 million to do anything in free agency. I don't know if I will do anything in free agency, but at least we have a little bit of wiggle room to do something if there's a guy that I like. Let's take a look. We got Leonard Williams. We got Will Campbell. Ooh, but he's going to be well out of our price range. That's interesting, though, that Will Campbell makes it to free agency. Chase Brown. Jordan Birch, but we don't need edge rusher. I think if I was going to do anything, it would either be at receiver, which I don't see anybody that I would actually want to go after. Tight end. Harold Fannon's here. A lot of the rookies are here. The real-life rookies. Or, I mean, Will Campbell's cool, but can't get him. Or at Sam linebacker or Will linebacker, whatever the position to replace Barrett Carter. But it doesn't look like there's anybody there that is going to be able to be good enough. I think I'm just going to save the money. Might as well save it. Don't waste it on a player that I'm not going to really need. We'll save the money, move to the draft. We're not going to have as good of a pick, obviously, because we don't have the number one overall pick. How good do the Rams do, though? They also finished 8-9, so we have their pick as well, and it's going to be maybe back-to-back. I'm probably thinking like 15-16 is probably around the mark that we'll be picking. Let's take a look at the private workouts, though. Final private workouts of the year. This guy is a top 5 true talent. I also scouted this corner who's a top 5 true talent. Okay, good to know. I thought I scouted a wide receiver as well. I did. Here he is. Jake Fitzsimmons, who's around 2 to 3. I could use an extra receiver. I mean, I like Adonai Mitchell, but he doesn't have a dev trait, and that's kind of slowing him down. So maybe a Brandon Grove type could be a little bit better. No, I think I might go with a Joey Diaz. 6'4". He might be a little bit better. At tight end, Colson Loveland's cool, but maybe there's a better option, like a Jelani Pearman type. And then what do I go with next? I think we have to focus on getting a replacement for Barrett Carter. This might be the best D tackle class I've ever seen. Look at this. Look at all these A's and B's. Oh my God, you can't go wrong with a D tackle in this class. I've never seen that before. There's a lot of A's on the Sam linebacking side of things. We might be able to find ourselves a Sam linebacker, that's for sure. Let's scout Kate Hoskins because we have a good amount already figured out about him, so let's just finish the job on that. And those will be my 3 players. Where do we pick in the draft? That is going to be the big question. Where do we pick in the draft? First off, let's take a look at our guys. So we've got tight end, top 5 talent, Jelani Pearman. Ooh, spicy. Very spicy. Joey Diaz looks pretty good, but that's real interesting. And then this guy is a round 2 to 3. So he's a true round 2 to 3. That's good to know, though, because I probably would have taken him, and I would have been kind of disappointed. But Jelani Pearman being a top 5 true talent, that is interesting. So was I right in my prediction? We're picking at 13, and they have us taking Jelani Pearman. Perfect. I was going to take him anyway. And then they have us at 16 taking another tight end, which I'm not going to do. I don't know who I'm going to take at 16, but I'm not going to take another tight end. I'm going to take Jelani Pearman because he looks like a freak. Let's get drafting. Let's get drafting. That D tackle class, I've never seen a D tackle class look like that in an auto-generated. That's crazy. All right, Jelani. Welcome to Detroit. Get ready to learn Detroit pizza. Welcome aboard the biggest of dogs. Jelani Pearman, 6'5" out of TCU. He looks like a monster, and he is a top 5 true talent. Number 5 in the class, hidden dev, probably already going to be a higher overall than Colston Loveland. Then we move on to the next pick. I might take the receiver. I might get a little risque and take the receiver Diaz. Should I do that? Is the question. Joey Diaz, a 6'4" receiver with elite jumping, 4.48 speed's not too shabby. I kind of like it. I kind of want more of it. But the D tackle class looks unreal. At least the top half does. I'm kind of thinking that Danny Meadows looks very well-rounded. I might go, but we don't need a D tackle. I feel like it's a waste. I feel like that's a waste. Don't take Danny Meadows. He looks good, but don't take him. It's a waste. We could grab the receiver or we grab a linebacker. One of the two. Which one do I like better? Jonathan Gold, elite speed. I kind of like Jonathan Gold a little bit, but he might be there in the second round. I don't want to get ahead of myself and take him early. He might be there second round. Terry Walker, also with elite speed. A tackle, A catching, A hit power, A play rec. How big is he? He's 6'1", 237. He could probably play safety. Let's take Terry Walker. He's number 23 in true value with hidden dev. Okay. Cool. Cool. Move to the second round. It's taking forever. There we go. Second round is on the board, and Diaz is still available in the second round. Me likey Joey Diaz in the second round. Cade Hoskins is available still. This will be a much better way to spot to take him. Edge still doesn't look horrible. How's the D tackle class looking? We don't need a D tackle. Don't need a D tackle. Take Diaz. He's still available. Take him. Joey Diaz looks good. Get him in the third round is a lot better value. Number 44 in true value. Hidden dev. He's probably going to be better than Adonai Mitchell right away. So that's better value. I like that. Our second round, not third round. Take him in the second round is better value. Now we've got third round pick. We have 2 third round picks. So what is on the table for us? A lot of linebackers gone. D tackle's gone. A lot of just players in general gone. But we might have a Devon Ankrum type of player. He's got poor speed. I wonder. I'm curious about taking him. I kind of want to take him. How much does the poor speed hurt him? 59 in true value. Normal dev, 71 speed. I had to know. I was too curious. I was too curious to know how bad he was. And now we pick it at number 80 overall. I had to know. Quarterback. Is there any sneaky quarterbacks? Nope. Running back, maybe a freak running back on the table? Not really. Fullbacks, wide receivers, tight end. We already got our tight end. I think I might sim out of this because I don't know if there's a guy that I like, except for maybe Tyrone Lowry. Maybe he's something good. Probably not, though. I might sim out of this. Jeff Moore. He's got better speed potential. We'll take Jeff Moore. Why not? Number 82 in true value. Normal dev. He's more depth. He's more depth. At this point, it's kind of crazy that we're already in the second year draft. And, oops, I didn't mean to do that. And we are already drafting for backups, like drafting for depth. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Let's go take a look at this recap, see what we did. So 79 for Jelani Pearman's kind of crazy at tight end. And then we got 76 for Terry Walker, 75 for Joey Diaz, and 74 for Ankrum, but he just has no speed. Moore is a 72. Owen Bain, D-tackle, 73. Yeah, this D-tackle class was just loaded. I don't think I've ever seen a D-tackle class this loaded before. There were 3 guys tied for 80 overall, including 2 corners. But then our guy right there, Jelani Pearman. So technically he's second in the class because he's also tied with 79 overall Jaleel Jones. But because he's the 5th player in the board, is why he's ranked number 5. But if you want to get technical, he's technically number 2. Tied for number 2, highest overall. But we enter the year 3 season. This has got to be the year where we actually show the development. Pearman instantly starts over Colston Loveland. I don't hate that. Offensive line looks amazing. I think this is the year we switch. We switch our... okay, so they switch over. Walker plays Sam linebacker. I'm totally fine with that. I think this is the year we switch playbooks. 95% scheme fit's kind of insane. The offensive scheme fit doesn't really work. We have about a 70%, it seems. But a 95% on a couple of different ones. We've really put together a pretty solid scheme on defense. I think it is time to switch playbooks. I'm going to go with Buffalo because Buffalo is pretty consistent. Buffalo is pretty consistent. I think Penix can play the Josh Allen role fairly well. He can't run like Josh Allen, but I think he's got a good enough arm. He can play the Josh Allen role fairly well. We'll stay with Detroit Lion defense, and we will simulate year number 3 of the fantasy draft rebuild and see if changing the playbook combined with all these guys developing even more, maybe we can actually win some games and make the playoffs for the first time in this rebuild. And also, you remember back in the very beginning of this rebuild, I said I think year number 3 or 4 is when we'll start to take that next step. This is year number 3, so we'll see if I'm right. Year 3's done, and we show significant improvements. We just keep going from year into year. We keep developing, we keep growing, we keep improving. Now from year 2, from 8 wins, we go to 10 wins and a playoff team in year number 3. The Buffalo playbook did some good things. Michael Penix, he extended his Penix, and he has got 4,300 yards with 45 touchdowns and under 10 interceptions. Very good season from Penix. Ashton Genty puts up those James Cook type of numbers. Good job for Genty. 1,200 yards. Isaac Tesla, 1,400 yards with 22 touchdowns. That is good. I didn't think it'd come from him, though. Rashee Rice puts up a few yards. Ted Aroa has a few yards. Insane numbers from Isaac Tesla. No shocker that Edgerrin Cooper leads the team in tackles. Micah Parsons has 17 tackles for loss. Mike Green and Walter Nolan have 14. Parsons continues to be the greatest player in the history of the NFL. 27 sacks. Mike Green has 12 and a half. Interception numbers, J.C. Horn puts up 3. Kevin Perez, Mike linebacker with 2. Okay. Good job. But we move to the playoffs. Please, Madden Sim, don't bump me in the first round. I'd be very disappointed. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Oh. That's called choke time, coach. Oh, 28-27 victory over the New York Football Giants. Okay. Sick nasty. Let's go. Let's keep it going. Beat the Chicago Bears, not the Buffalo Bills. Beat the Chicago Bears. The Bears. They beat us. Very convincingly, too. Okay, so we get a playoff win. That's experience for these young guys. That's something, at least. Some experience for the youths. Let's go to the Super Bowl and see if we get a dev trade. I'm hoping dev trade upgrade for Michael Penix. I want to extend his Penix all over the team. I hope that we get a superstar dev for him. I mean, Micah Parsons is literally 99 across the board. He can't really upgrade. Let's see. Bears and Broncos. Duh. Bears. Will they win? Will they win? They will not. They lose to the Denver Broncos. I don't even know who's on the Denver Broncos, but they are Super Bowl champions now. They can't take that away from them. Until we delete this save file, then you can take it away from them. James Cook III is your Super Bowl MVP for the Broncos. Brock Purdy is back-to-back, right? Yeah, back-to-back MVPs. So that Chiefs playbook is still a little crazy. Isaac Tesla takes home an Offensive Player of the Year. Super awesome. And Myles Garrett's the Defensive Player of the Year. But Isaac Tesla, man, that's got to be dev trade upgrade for him, right? It has to be. I think you're guaranteed when you win an award. And he is Superstar Dev. And Penix has extended all over the team. He's got Superstar Dev. Pierman has X Factor. Penei Sewell has X Factor. I'm a drafting god. You can all write it in the comments. I'm a drafting god. Michael Penix with Superstar Dev is awesome. Joey, or is it Joey Diaz? What the heck is your name? Yeah, Joey Diaz also has Superstar Dev, so I'm once again a drafting god. I'm just good. I'm just that good. I'm nasty with it. And then on defense, Walker's an X Factor. I am a drafting god. There's no denying it at this point. Walker's an X Factor. Benjamin Morrison's now Superstar. I told you he goes crazy in simulations. Malachi Starks is still Superstar. J.C. Horn, I think, is now. Was he always Superstar? He might have always been Superstar. But we are developing. I think year number 4 is our year. I really, really do. The Buffalo playbook got us from 8 wins to 10 wins, and it got us a playoff win. I think next year, with the way that these guys are overalls now and they're developing, I think next year we might win the Super Bowl. Psst, we might win the Super Bowl. Tell your friends. We might win one. I don't know. I know that we're going to have to pay a lot of guys a lot of money, and I'm kind of scared. Penei Sewell is not cheap. We're going to have to restructure so many different contracts to bring in these guys or bring back these guys. But I think it'll be worth it in the end because Super Bowl season is right around the corner. Please accept this. You gotta be kidding me, Penei. Why can he not just accept a contract? He just won't do it. Just stop being a jabroni for 1 second. Ashton Genty accepted. It's not that hard. I like to imagine in my head canon that all of these guys are just lined up in the office, the coach's office. And I know this is obviously not how it works in real life with negotiations and everything, but in my head, this is how it works. All these guys that are right next to each other on the screen, they just line up next to each other in a line from left to right, and you just go down the line and you just talk to them. You're like, I'll give you this. They either accept or they don't, and then you move to the next guy. That's how contract negotiations work in my head in Madden. So that's how it's gonna work. Isaac Tesla just had an offensive rookie of the year or offensive player of the year season, so he's gonna get a big bag and he's gonna return. Welcome. Barrett Carter we replaced. DeJuan Jones we replaced. Brandon Aubrey we could pay. We need a franchise tag before I restructure anybody. Actually, you know what? Let's just pay Brandon Aubrey right now. We don't actually have to restructure anybody because we got everybody that we needed back with still some money available. So Brandon Aubrey returns. We can franchise tag Penei Sewell again. So it's only 18.8. It doesn't even go up that much. It was 18 million last year. It's 0.8 more, 800,000 more. So we get everybody back that we wanted to get back. And I am a drafting god. It's that simple. It is that simple. And I don't even think we need to focus on the draft this year because there's not really anything that I need. I think all we have to do is just win, baby. I think that's all. The combination of our guys finally developing, superstar dev, all that kind of good stuff, I think the Bills playbook's going to take us to that next step. I think we're going to win a Super Bowl. I think it's going to happen. And if it doesn't, I'm going to cry big fat boy tears. So let's go to the next user pick. I will take the first round because it is the first round pick. but every other pick I'll probably skip. Let's see what's on the board. I have no idea. I haven't looked at this class at all. We've got a round 1 to 2 quarterback, a bunch of round 1 to 2 quarterbacks. Well, good news, we ain't in the market for a round 1 to 2 quarterback. We are in the market for possibly another franchise tight end. Do I hit him with it again? Do I hit him with a back-to-back first-round tight ends? You know what? I might. I'll think about it. If I don't see anybody else that I like, I'll go for him. But I kinda want to take that tight end. I love a good tight end, baby. Who doesn't? Am I right? That's what I'm talking about. All right, what do we got here? Anybody? Matt Norton? No. Ooh, that's trash. You're kind of good. You could possibly be good. Corners are garbage. Safeties are trash. I might grab myself a back-to-back first-round tight end. Now, is he going to be good? Maybe. But he also could be god-awful. You never know. But we're going to take him and see what happens. He's number 57 in true value. He's trash. I'm going to cut him with a spoon. All right. The drafting god sometimes makes mistakes. What can I say? Can't go 100%. Can't bat 1,000. It's impossible. I'm only human, even though I am a drafting god. Recap, 73 overall. The rest of the class is booty cheeks. But that's totally fine, because we didn't really need anything. We kind of have our team built out already. That first draft, when we got those offensive linemen, that was the change. That was the turning point. Getting those offensive linemen in the first year, absolutely the turning point. Because look at them now. Well, only Hoffman, really. But the rest of them are fairly good. We'll generate the best lineup, make sure everybody's good to go. Scheme fit, make sure that's good to go. We've never really had a good offensive scheme fit, have we? We've kind of just been middling around. Our defensive scheme fit's always been fairly good. It's a little bit less this time, but it's always been fairly good. I think this is the year, ladies and gentlemen. I really do. Michael Penix. Can he extend his Penix all over the league? I hope so. He's a superstar dev player now. I think that should carry us to a Super Bowl. Let's find out. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 4. Year 4 is here, or is finished, and we have gotten ourselves the first round of the playoffs. 13 wins. Year on year on year progression. This is how you rebuild a team. Take notes, ladies and gentlemen. You start bad in year 1. You show progress in year 2. You show even more progress and possibly make the playoffs in year 3, which we did. And then in year 4, 5, 6 is when you catapult all of that progress and you take it to the next level. Ooh, yeah. That's what we are doing right now, and we've proven it. Number 1 seed, 13 wins. Take a look at my extended Penix. What did he do? 4,200 yards, 41 touchdowns, 2 interceptions is a phenomenal year for Michael Penix. Wow, that's really, really good. I've never seen stats like that from a Penix. 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns for Ashton Genty with a 5.1 yards per carry. Good for him. 1,200 yards for Rashee Rice. He finally starts to be the number 1 receiver. It's about time. Tetaroa did fine. Tesla did fine, but he didn't have the offensive player of the year season you'd think he'd have. What about the defense, though? Edgerrin Cooper, you should have put your bets on it. If he was going to be the leader or not, you would have won. 118 tackles. Tackle for loss is Micah Parsons, and sack leader is, again, Micah Parsons. Taking him in the first round was definitely the right move. Yeah, we could have got somebody else. Maybe somebody like a Myles Garrett. That might have been good. But I think taking Micah Parsons was the best option. Taking on the Rams in the divisional round, we got bumped last year by the Bears. Can we get bumped this year, or we can move on? 21-9. Boom. Victory for the boys, for the good guys. And we move to the NFC Championship. Is this finally the year of the Lion? I think it might be. NFC Championship, hosting it at Ford Field. It's going to be loud. It's going to be raucous. This team is begging, fiending for a Super Bowl trophy in that stadium. I think this is the year. Let's go beat the Falcons to make sure that it is the year. It is the NFC Championship, Falcons and Lions. If you showed this to somebody in 2015, they would probably laugh at you because they'd be like, yeah, the Falcons, I believe, but the Lions? No. And it's 7-7. It's 14-14. This is a high-scoring offensive juggernaut of a game. We'll see what we can do. 21-14. Come on, boys. Get the job done, please. Oh, they didn't make it. They missed the extra point, or maybe they went for two and didn't get it. I don't know. But it's game time. 21-20. All we got to do is hold the lead. Run the clock. Shove our extended Penix all over the Falcons defense. And that's a huge run from Ashton Jeanty to start. That's quite the way to start. And that's going to be the 2-minute warning. We already get there. One play, we're already at the 2-minute warning. It's easy. It's simple. Another run with Jeanty will get us the first timeout used by Atlanta. I mean, running behind this offensive line is not too hard to do. That's the first timeout used. They still have, is it Raheem? Raheem Morris? I think it's Raheem, right? I don't want to mess up his name. I think it's Raheem. Whatever. They still have their original coach. They didn't fire him throughout this rebuild. Jeanty's still doing the Michael Myers stance. He gets the second handoff and the second timeout used by Atlanta. A first down wins this football game. Who's it going to be? Tetaroa or Isaac Tesla? Oh, that's right. Penix is a lefty. I forgot about that. Tesla gets the first down. That's ball game. We are going to go to the Super Bowl by a singular point. He's still doing the freaking Michael Myers stance. Even in the whatchamacallit, the QB kneel drill. Or setup, whatever it is. That's kind of funny. All right, we are going to have to snap this one more time because the play clock is just a second ahead. So we will snap it right about now. And we will go to the Super Bowl against a team. I don't know yet. 21-20. They must have missed the extra point or something. I don't know what happened. But they did. And we will move on. I think they have Justin Herbert. Was that what I saw? What if, man? What if? Penix moves on to the Super Bowl with the Lions. We will play for it for the first time ever. Lions have been in the NFC Championship, but never a Super Bowl. And it'll be against the Miami Dolphins. Okay. The Dolphins get there. Penix, I just saw one MVP. He gets 2 skill points because of it. Sick nasty. It's in Tampa Bay, so it's a home field advantage game slightly for Miami Dolphins. I think this should still be a win. I don't really see the Dolphins getting one ahead of us. I think this should be an easy Super Bowl win and the rebuild completed. It is the Super Bowl here in Tampa. Miami Dolphins, Detroit Lions. Lions playing their first ever Super Bowl as a franchise. They've been around for a while, but the first time we got here. And we are looking to drag our extended Penix along the faces of every Miami Dolphin player. And we are crushing. 17 to 7. It was 17-14 now. And we are trying to hold on to this lead. 3rd and 4. All right, 3rd and 4 is not too shabby. We can work with this. We got Tesla. We got Joey Diaz. I think that's his name, right? I'm going to hit Tesla. Tesla's open. He's got the first. Timeout called by Miami. Pretty sick. Red zone advantage. Let's jump in. 1 timeout remaining for Miami. I'm out here in Miami. All right, let's hand this off to Jeanty. He's Michael Myers in the backfield. 3rd and 3. Handoff to Jeanty. He's going to be denied. Timeout called by the Dolphins. This is real risky to go for this, but I think it's the right idea. We could take the field goal, but a field goal does nothing for me. A Loveland first down does everything for me. He dives down, and that should be the ball game. A Super Bowl victory for the Detroit Lions and a completed rebuild. Oh, inject it into my veins. Inject it into my veins. The Detroit Lions are Super Bowl champions. The fantasy draft rebuild has been completed, and the drafting god got it done. Did you ever doubt me? You shouldn't have. Because you should have known I was going to be able to get this done because I am a drafting god. I have all the knowledge of all the thousands of worlds in my brain. I have been reincarnated thousands upon thousands of times. All of the past knowledge of these rebuilds are just right up here in the brain, and I've done it again. Super Bowl for the Detroit Lions. We can extend our Penix all over Roger Goodell and win the Super Bowl. Dan the Man Campbell gets to hold a Lombardi, something he couldn't do in real life because he's a jabroni, but he gets to do it here because I'm not a jabroni. I'm the puppet master. And we get it done. Super Bowl for Detroit, or as I like to call them, Detroit. We get it done. Congratulations go around. I drafted pretty well, didn't I? Not just in the drafts, subsequent drafts afterwards, but I drafted pretty well in the actual fantasy draft. You guys probably were questioning me. Why'd you take all these young guys? Why'd you take Micah Parsons? Why'd you take Michael Penix? Because this is why. Because I knew that we would win a Super Bowl in exactly 4 years. Michael Penix, not only is he the Super Bowl MVP, he's the league MVP. And he's my hero. And he's going to extend his Penix all over me after in the Super Bowl after show. Zay Flowers, TJ Watt are the players of the year, but the Detroit Lions have completed the rebuild. We have done it. I could not be happier. Let's take one final look at this roster and see just how good of a drafter I am. Because it's probably pretty good, right? I know, that's what I'm talking about. We drafted Michael Penix. He's now an X Factor. We got Genty. He's an X Factor. I mean, look at this. I didn't make any trades after I drafted the team. This is just the base team along with the subsequent rookie drafts that we had. This is the base team that we had. Ted Aroa, Isaac Tesla. I signed him in free agency, but still, Isaac Tesla. Rashee Rice. We drafted Joey Diaz. This team has my grubby little fingerprints all over it, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. The defense is almost virtually unchanged. The only thing that's different is Barrett Carter's not here, and we have Walker. That's pretty much that's legit the only thing that's different. Everybody else is the same that's been here the entire time, right? And they've just grown and developed. I'm so good. You better be on your knees begging and pleading for me to give you the knowledge to draft as good as I draft as a drafting god. Let me put my extended Penix into your virtual mind and let me give you all of my knowledge. That is a Super Bowl victory and a completed fantasy draft rebuild. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watch. I truly appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.